Well, I wrote this guide in my newsletter a while back, like last year, so I think it's very important to use reader feedback. But you know, you don't always have a reader feedback, and like I said, it costs a lot of time to gather it. But I think in every newsroom you have editorial analytics. So you can see which articles are popular, which ones get a lot of page views and reading time, and which don't. So I thought of a way to use editorial analytics for journalists to get a little feedback from your readers. So we can go to the next slide.
I think you have to go to the next slide, Sophie. Yeah. Or is it Lawrence?
No, I think you can.
I did
it.
Right. Okay. So first things first, you have to get access to your own analytics. At NRC, we use Parsley for like the individual
Parsley, right?
Parsley, yeah. So they can see well, which articles get like read best and which don't, and through which channels the readers come to their articles. So you should gather like the page views. I think are important, and then also the average reading time, because you know page views don't say everything. You have to know if how long people are in the article. And then you want to know the traffic sources. So did the readers come through Google or through Facebook or whatever? So if you've gathered that for like, you can gather those the analytics for like a month, like maybe for April, you can put them in an Excel sheet.
Yeah.
What you do then, the second step is to categorize your articles. If you just I did this for my own newsletter a while back, and you know, when you work in a newsroom, you can use like the you can use genres, or you can make your own categories, like to explain or to update or to educate. So you have a little bit of an overview of what kind of articles you write and how successful they are. You can, well, that's like the first feedback you get is what kind of genres do get a lot of page views or reading time, and which don't.
And I see these categories, if you said to explain, to update, to educate, they seem like I encounter these in models like the BBC World user needs models, and I think there's some others that are similar. Did you took a few pages from those models as well?
You can use those. There are 6 reader needs for the BBC model is 6.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, which categories are like logical to what kind of journalism you make. For me, it's not, for my newsletter, for example, it's not logical to make categories of interview or whatever, or like a news article. For me, it's more logic to use the BBC categories to explain, to update.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you make, or what you want to know. Yeah, do you want to say something? Oh. Yep. Well, then step 3, then you start giving feedback to yourself. So which articles make you proud? Did you want to send to your mother? And which one you thought, I could have done better. So what I did, I marked the newsletters which I was proud of with green, and the ones I thought, I make them red. So then you have like this Excel sheet with your analytics, they're categorized, and you've given yourself feedback. And then comes the next step. You put the analytics and your own feedback together. When you do that, you'll get like 4 categories. and I'll just go through them and what you can do with them. So the first one, we will just start with the nicest one. These are the articles that you're proud of and attracted a lot of readers. So they got a lot of page views or got a long engaged reading time. So when you've patted yourself on the back and look how good I am at my job, there are a couple of questions you can ask yourself, because of course you want to repeat this success. So you can look up where did this article was it put in a newsletter? Did it like go viral on Facebook or Twitter? And how did you think that like came about? Did it was it like picked up by another medium, or was there like an action group retweeting your article? Those kinds of things. And then you also want to know what were the headline like and the lead. What did they say? What did they speak to people, or was it was there, I don't know, phrase in there that made it so successful? And then you also want to know what the genre was, if you haven't done that yet in the categories, and why did you think it spoke to the people? Why do you think it was a good genre for this piece? And maybe did you do something differently than you would usually do? So if you have answered these questions, you'll want to put them on a post-it and put them on and post it on your computer and look at it as many times as you can.
So very visual.
Mm-hmm. I have that post-it. So next one is a tough one. No, we're gonna do first another one. Those are the articles that you're not really proud of, but did attract a lot of readers. So then again, you go again about, and you see why did it get why did it gain so many readers, and through which channels did they came. And maybe there was something in the headline or in the lead that did speak to a lot of people, and which made it a success. So then this is the hard one. These are the articles that you're proud of but did not attract a lot of readers. So then you want to check if the piece was like promoted right. Was it put on social media? Was it put in a newsletter, or maybe not? And then you want to check why. Maybe it was just a newsletter was full with articles from your colleagues. It happens, and maybe you can promote it anyway on a later moment. Or maybe it wasn't a newsletter, but the text that went with it was not. Was not right. Didn't really was about the essence of the piece, and you can talk to the social editors or the newsletter editors, and I'll see if they can do it better next time, or explain why you thought it should have done differently. Then there's also the option of maybe the engaged reading time was short. Maybe you wrote a piece of 2,000 words and people only stayed in there for like a minute. Then you can check if maybe what happened. You know, you can go into the piece and see maybe there was a video or a link or something that made the people leave the article, or maybe there was a piece in an interview which maybe people found boring or not that interesting and left. And if you use Chartbeat in your newsroom, and I think Parsley does it too, you can, if it's live, you can see the scroll depth of the articles, so you can see where people like leave.
Yep.
Well, and then again, you check the headline and the lead, and maybe this time the headline was just a quote, and there was no name with the quote, or it had word in it that maybe was a little bit too how do you say too specific. Maybe people didn't quite understand what it was about, and or what was a clickbait headline, and people left because they didn't got what they expected they would get. And then you should also check, was the timing right? Was this the article people wanted to read at this moment? Maybe it was maybe it wasn't the right article at the right time for this subject. And then the last one, the articles you're not proud of and did not attract a lot of readers. Well, that's easy. That's an easy one, actually. You can just stop.
The worst category.
I was commissioned to write this, but I didn't want to. That could be a reason as well, right? Yeah.
That could be, that could be an option. But then you should talk to your superior, because then something isn't going as it should be. And then the last one, act on the findings. So get that posted, put it on your computer, and repeat this thing. You can, like, because if you've done this once, you want to see if it works, and you can do it again and talk about it with your colleagues. And also remember that analytics aren't everything. Sometimes you know, an article is great. You've done your best, but people just don't read it, because there have been a lot of examples when I was working at NRC, and there was an article I thought, well, this is going to be a hit. You know, everybody's going to want to read this, and nobody did. So, you know, readers are just like people there.
And would you say you have to perform these 5 steps on your own as a solo exercise, or do you think you should do this together with some fellow co-workers you trust? And
well, you should, of course, because they can have they'll probably have insights that you don't. Maybe
you might have some blind spots, right? Why
an article is reading good or not.
So, but it's really well. Thank you for sharing these 5 steps with us, because I think they're quite clear, quite practical, straightforward, and something every journalist could do. You don't need a lot. You only need to get the access to your own analytics, or the analytics for your articles. But I think nowadays most journalists will have access to that, could ask for. And it's very, as Nadine said as well, it's very visual as well. The way you've presented it, but how you do this, you can almost see this sort of this wall, or your desktop with post-its. So it's very, very practical. So thank you for sharing. And I see Maggie saying, "Is there a link to the guide?" So I don't know.
I'll put it in the. It's in Dutch though, but.
As I said, Google Translate is your best friend in this case.